Warrior Oracle. Let's see. Keep picking this up. You know, I try to stay away from these call it Baron cards. But they're human. Whatever. Keep reaching for them. I'm just gonna use them. Kind of old and messed up, but I obviously have a message. So here we go. I mixed two decks. Alright. Let's see what we get here. Get by the book. See 3 elephants walking in sequence throughout the desert, and the card is number 11. 3 elephants in the desert. And what came out at the same time? Orphan. Orphan. That's funny. This is orphaned, and there's an elephant, a baby elephant at the back of this procession here. Orphan is not good. This might be something to do with a child. Maybe a child is feeling left behind, or a child is about to be left behind. Maybe a child lost their parents. That didn't actually fall out. That was mixed into this next deck. So I took it out and it rolled out. But hey, we have 2, so we might as well make it 3. What's this? Deep knowing. Number 43 equals 7. Deep knowing. Could be intuition. Could be wisdom through experience. Deep knowing. So maybe there's somebody's aware of what this child is going through, or this child is aware of what's going on. So 3 more. Healer of the Ages. Looks like a Jesus type figure. 51. Healer of the Ages. So, by the book, Healer of the Ages. You could be a healer, you could know a healer. This child might be a healer. This child might be gifted. Bleeding Hearts under Orphans. Yeah, this child is probably sad, or there's somebody showing empathy towards this child. Yeah. Somebody's probably showing empathy towards the child, or wants to take care of the child. Temple Path and Deep Knowing. So this may be the child of an initiate, or this child may become an initiate due to the experience that it's going to have. Sometimes it takes adversity for us to live in our true path, or even to discover higher things about ourselves, to open our eyes. Sometimes a little adversity is what the universe uses to move us and to awaken us. We stay still, we're happy watching TV, eating hot dogs, playing video games until, we get sick, or our legs swell from sitting down all day and whatnot. Then we realize, I can't keep doing this. And then we start doing things to enlighten ourselves, and we become greater beings as a result of it. Let's see what other oracle cards describes. Whispers of Lord Ganesha. Any guidance? What kind of guidance for this child? Some guidance about this child. What can we do about the situation? What can the collective do about this situation? This fell out. There's 2 of them. I don't really ever take 2, but I'll take them. Personal transformation and reflection. Looks like there's Saturn in the background there. I don't know what this green one is. Probably Jupiter. It's fairly big. Oh, no, that's Jupiter right there. I don't see rings here, so it's probably not Saturn. But personal transformation. You see Ganesha handling planets and talking about personal transformation. Of course, the planets represent the different parts of the psyche, the different basic energies that govern the universe. And so this is talking about the basic natures or basic characteristics of the self that we must cultivate and change. If you're not aware of these things, like let's say for instance, our emotions are governed by the moon, right? Our ego, our identity, right? Our sense of justice is usually governed by Mars or Jupiter. You know, our knowledge of fairness is governed by Jupiter. You know, our sense of revenge or sense of protection. Not that revenge is a good thing, but you know, our sense of vengeance, our aggressive nature is governed by Mars. Our sense of protecting things is governed by Mars, also by Mercury. Our intellect is governed by Mercury. You know, our intellectual mind, our labeling mind, our thinking mind, our ability to verbalize and use language. This is governed by Mercury, right? The sun, right, governs our consciousness, our clear thought, our clear vision. You know, Venus governs our imagination, our creativity. So, you know, this is a personal transformation. We have to pay attention to these different. We use these planets as symbols of the different natures, the different faculties of our being, and we cultivate ourselves according to the virtues of these natures. And this is personal transformation. Right? Or it could be something as simple as dropping a bad habit, or doing something, creating a good habit. Right? This is what we can do to help this child. We need to transform ourselves. We need to go from weak to strong. We need to go from ignorant to wise. You know, we need to go from sedentary to disciplined. You know, we need to go from soft to hard, or vice versa. And reflect. We need to look at ourselves, and we need to look at the situation and allow, the universe to show us what is actually going on. Because, we have mental blocks and psychic blocks, psychological blocks to protect us from ourselves, or to protect us from what we know. And sometimes we have to sit down and be still and accept that, we're not in control. Just let the heart beat, let the lungs breathe, let the mind race, but just watch it, be consciousness, separate the consciousness from the mind, separate your identity from your mind in your body, and put it in your consciousness, and just watch your mind and your body as it moves through time, and you'll be able to see the patterns of what you think, or what we think is ourself, our lower body, our ego, our lower mind. Our ego is our body. Right? We have a higher consciousness, but we have to know how to separate. We have to recognize our consciousness and recognize our body for what it is and our mind for what it is. Right? Reflects. Also, think about the things in the past. Maybe you've done something that contributed to this situation with this child, this orphaning, or maybe you've been thinking about something that is going on with this child, but you've been unable to do something, and you're on the temple path. You're going to God about this. So maybe you've turned to God, you put your trust in God about this. Maybe you're the bleeding heart for this child, and the healer of the ages for this child. Maybe you're trying to heal a family, or you're trying to keep everything in order, and you're the bleeding heart because you're trying to protect this child, and you're on the temple path. You may be a righteous person, you may be a wise person, and you know that something is wrong with the situation with this child. You may be let's get some more. That's all just what was coming in for me. Let's see. Let's clarify this. I'll use some tarot cards to clarify. Well, I have some here, so I'll just use these. Okay, clarify this. Clarify. Clarify the situation, this reflection. What is this reflection that needs to be done about this child? What is this personal transformation that needs to be done about this child? What personal transformation do we need to do? What is this personal transformation that needs to be done with this child? In regards to this child. Eight of Pentacles, hard work, persistence. Two of Cups, love. And the Four of Wands, marriage. So this personal transformation may be that you need to, come together with the parent of this child, or maybe you need to keep a relationship with this child so this child knows that they're loved. Yeah, this child is orphaned, right? This orphan. So this child probably needs to know that they're loved. So you need to work hard so that you can create the environment for this child. You need to be able to take care of this child, I'm assuming, because this is a marriage. But beyond the marriage, the dancing and the celebration, there's four rods there. The four is like a square, right? Those rods are assembled in a square, right? So that's a strong foundation. That is the scaffolding for our house, right? That is the how do you call that? Not scaffolding, the that's the frame of the house. So you built the foundation and now you framed up a house. So you have to build something for this child, I'm thinking, so that this child knows that they're loved, this orphan knows that they're loved. Maybe this might be your child that feels orphaned. Maybe you're going through some financial hardship or some relationship hardships. This Two of Cups here, and it's separating you from your child. You're probably separated from your child, or you know a child that you're separated from, and you know that child is going through something. You're a bleeding heart for this child. Yeah, I think you're concerned with a child, concerned with this orphan, or maybe you're an orphan and you're a bleeding heart and a healer and on the temple path. And if you're that orphan, yeah, you deserve love. You need to transform yourself, work on yourself, so that you can accept love, because there's love out there for you. Absolutely, there's love for everyone, right? Don't be desperate and do something stupid and end up getting an STD or something that will block you from finding love, right? And unfortunately, if you do have an STD, there's still love out for you out there. It might take you being honest about your situation to somebody who may be in a similar situation. You might not. Your player days, and those days might be over. But you can still you can still definitely find somebody to love you for who you are and your situation. You just have to manage your situation wisely. But there is still love for you out there. So for this orphaned individual, work on yourself, work on your situation. Just keep working hard so that you can be open to love. And I think that if you do the work that you know that needs to be done, or you try to find out what needs to be done, you'll find this love, and you'll actually, in the future here, with this third card position here, the Four of Wands, you'll actually probably end up marrying this person. So there is love for you, and even though you're probably on the temple path is the best path to be on for personal transformation. So if you do this work, this personal transformation work, you'll end up finding the love that you need if you're this orphan, or if you're doing this work on behalf of this orphan, so that this orphan can know that they are loved. You'll probably end up making a house with this orphan, or you'll probably end up doing something great. You might end up building a facility for orphans, or building a daycare center or something along those lines. So I think that this is great work. This is a really positive message here. And reflection. Clarify reflection. The Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. Okay, So you have 2 pentacles and another earth element, the Hierophant. So 3 earth elements as reflection. Of course, we know that earth represents friendships, family members, resources, like food, clothing, and shelter, love, peace, and happiness, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, freedom, justice, and equality. These are all resources. And also, of course, yes, money, finance. So this Knight of Pentacles is a very thoughtful person. Also, the earth element, the pentacle, represents deep thought, right? Deep concentration, the ability to concentrate. Not all of us have cultivated the ability to concentrate. We all have it, but not all of us have cultivated it or have been taught to cultivate it. And guess what? If your parents never cultivated it, you're born out of your parents, you probably won't have the ability to cultivate it either, right? You probably won't have concentration either, because yes, it does exist in the DNA, and we all can change our DNA, but it starts with their habits. I recall having my first child, and her attitudes were the same attitudes I had at the time before I had her, with the time she was conceived. Now, I was a different person when she was conceived than when she was born. There was her total different attitudes. So her attitude was like when she was conceived, like how I acted when she was conceived, and that was amazing to me. So yes, we carry our attitudes, we carry patterns from our ancestors and from our parents. So this Knight of Pentacles here is in deep in concentration. As you can see, he's a knight, he's on a horse, but there's no movement there. They're staying still. So he's thinking about his moves. He's not gonna rush into any movement. This is good, and that totally coincides with reflection. Sit still, concentrate, be aware of everything necessary. Don't rush into this, right? Reflect. This is what we're doing on behalf of this orphan, right? The Four of Pentacles. It's said, not traditionally, but it's commonly said that this is a card of greed and of hoarding finances and whatnot, but it's actually building foundations for something greater financially. Because if you're not holding on to your coins, you'll be surprised at how fast they'll disappear. If you don't hold on to those pentacles, you'll be surprised how fast they'll disappear. It's the same thing in the psychological world. If we don't hold on to these thoughts, if we don't hold on to these plans, if we don't hold on to these goals, you'll be surprised at how fast they disappear. Right? So this reflection has to do with financial resources. Not only financial resources, but the help that you can get from others. The universe probably wants to send you somebody. You see, you got the Hierophant here in the future with these 2 devotees here. The universe, who works through the Hierophant, because the Hierophant is the living representation of the universe. He lives by the laws of the universe. He represents the law of the universe, the higher realm laws, right? The universe wants to send you something, wants to help you with this orphan, wants to help you reflect on this orphan, to reflect on these resources that you can use and the benefit of this orphan, right? On this temple path of this Hierophant. Where is the Hierophant? Inside the temple. See? The universe wants to help you with this reflection, and to help you, to guide you in what you need to do to take care of this orphan soul. This may be your soul, this may be another individual, but the universe wants to help you with that. The universe wants to help this individual. And so you have to plan, write down your plans, journal, go over your visions, remember every day or as often as you can your goals. Do something towards your goals, every day, right? And in the future, you'll be blessed. You may end up receiving help from somebody on the temple path, or some Hierophant, or some priest. Maybe a church or a pastor will be charity towards you, give you charities. Yeah, so maybe reflect on the different resources you have around you. These 4 pentacles and this mandala. I don't recall what to call this labyrinth-like thing, but if it's Asian, It's more than just a labyrinth. But regardless. Anyway. So reflect on the resources that you have available to you, because you probably haven't been still. But let's be positive now. Since you are being counseled to be still and to reflect, don't move so fast, and look at the resources. This is a Knight of Pentacles. You see he has a pentacle on his back. He's thinking about resources. He's ready to make a move. He's thinking about what move he should make in regards to his resources or to resources. This man here is balancing all of these resources. He's concentrated on these resources so greatly that they're levitating next to him. He's levitating his pentacles, right? That's not greed, that's control. Because you'll be surprised how fast your pentacles will disappear if you do not hold them, if you do not concentrate on them, or have some kind of plan set in place so they do not move. You have to concentrate. Write your goals down, journal, reflect on your goals, reflect on your goals, reflect on your goals, reflection, reflect on your goals, reflect on the resources you have available. You might have resources available around you that you didn't even know that you had, that you can use to help this orphan, to find this love, or to find this family, to find this home, right? Reflect on the resources that you have available around you, and hold tight to them, hold fast to them, don't forget about them. Hold fast to them. Don't let them dissipate. Don't let them disappear. And in the future, you live by the law. Whether this is somebody, like I said before, a pastor or a rabbi or an imam or a high priest or an abbot or a guru or a pundit who is going to have devotees. God is going to work through. The higher power. This could even be you. The higher power is going to bring you people to help you on your journey, and these people are going to have respect for you. These people are going to show you respect because you're showing yourself respect. You're showing this orphan respect. You're reflecting and holding fast to these resources and these principles and these goals. Who's not going to respect that? This reflection may bring you into a higher state of consciousness so that other people respect you, or these other people may come to you and help you with what you need. This reflection is in regards to this orphan, correct? Hold fast to your visions, hold fast to your resources, hold fast to your goals, write your goals, journal, plan. Hold your plans close. Don't run on to the next thing. Hold your plans close. You have what it takes to help this orphan, to show this orphan love, or this orphan soul. This could be you. There's love available for you. Hold fast to your resources. You'll be surprised how far you will go with the reflection. I'm gonna leave that there. Well, I'm not. Since this is, dealing with a child, and this, I think that's very important. That this child has a good life, and I don't want anything bad to happen to this child, so I'm going to do something that I don't usually do, but you probably will see me do more often. I'm going to use what they call a high oracle, and I am going to give some practical guidance that we all can use on behalf of this orphan, this child, or even could be you. This could be guidance for you. What do we have to know? What forces do we need to use in order to bring out the best outcome for this orphan soul, whether it be us or an individual orphan? Venus. So there may be some overindulgence. Maybe this child is feeling orphaned because they're being neglected. Well, this could even be abuse. This is a negative Venus. The light is dimming. The way is closing through Venus. This is a negative Venus. So the issue, if there's negative Venus stuff going on, we don't have to know exactly what it is. We just know that it's a negative Venus force. glorious outcome for this orphan. This orphan may realize our destiny, that we may realize our destiny. What do we need to know in order to help us orphans and help all involved? What do we need to know? Says the way is closed, and this has to do with resources and pentacles. So this may be that this orphan does not have money, or the parents don't have money to take care of this child. So, like the tarot was saying, we need to work hard in order to bring balance, emotional balance, Two of Cups, to this child, so we can build a family for this child. But some actionable steps that we can do is we have to make sure we're taking care of our health. If our health is not in order, then our spirit cannot work through us. God's energy, God's blessings that are to be manifested through us are blocked because our energy is blocked, our blood vessels are blocked, our meridians are blocked, our mind is blocked from this overload of carbs, this overloads of sugar, this overloads of preservatives, these poisons and whatnot. Sitting down watching TV all day, slumped over, looking at your phone, at your device. Do some yoga, do some exercise, do some Tai Chi, do some martial arts, go boxing, go jogging, go sprinting, ride your bike, skateboard, roller skate, do something. Stop eating junk so that your mind can be clear. You can actually do something with your meditations, or if you're really relying on junk to have this feeling, recognize that you can evoke those feelings without the junk. You're burning up your dopamine receptors with all of this junk, and then when you get off of the junk, you're having a hard time enjoying yourself because you're so used to the dopamine hit stimulation that you get from that sweet junk on your tongue. But it's a trick. There's no nourishment in there. It's slowly killing you. It is a trick. It does not taste as good as you think it tastes, because beyond the tongue is the belly, and the belly can't do anything with that stuff. Either ejects it or it stores it as fat. And besides the health law, right? We have Venus and we have Earth here. Let's see, where's that Venus card? Negative Venus, like I said, could be indulgence in drugs, escapism, making excuses, daydreaming too much, indulgence in lower activities of the lower gross physical body, if you understand what I mean. And not gross is disgusting, but just physical level stuff, right? And whatnot. You're imagining the wrong things. Your imagination is going on wild with you. You're abusing drugs. You're abusing alcohol. You're abusing sweets. You're abusing tasty foods. You're materialistic. Buying all the clothes without the money, and having to show off the car without the money to pay for it and whatnot. All of these things are negative Venus things, right? So we want to use our resources correctly. We want to balance out our resources and our health, right? So you can chant. If you know how to chant, you can breathe in and say Om and mentally, and breathe out and mentally say Oshra. 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 And that is the sound of Earth. And this is something that we can use besides prayer, prescribed by the oracle, to help this child. So take care of your health. Don't imagine vain things. Don't indulge in pleasures. Don't be pleasure seeking and in escapism, because when you pleasure seek and deal in escapism, guess what's going to happen? You're going to forget your goals. You're going to forget your visions. You're going to forget your resources that are around you, and you're going to be chasing the escapism, and you're going to lose yourself. And this orphan, poor orphan who can't do it by himself, is going to be left stranded. So you need to work on yourself, right? Personal development, the healer of the ages, bleeding hearts. Work on yourself. temple path. Work on yourself. Work on your character. Work on your discipline. You may just need to work. Get a job so you can get resources to help this orphan soul. This could be you, or this could be, you needing to find love and you needing to find self-respect, or an actual orphan or a child who is being neglected. I'm going to end that there.